What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Oscar. This is where I talk about reality, awareness, consciousness, finding your true nature beyond the conventional, so you may evolve into your highest potential, right? So you're becoming your best version by knowing this truth, finding out who you are. So today's topic is duality, all right? Duality and transcendence when it comes to duality. Okay, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. So let's talk about duality. What does it really mean? Duality is the fact that everything has a dual nature, right? It's within the word. That everything has two poles of existence. So compare and contrast, heads or tails, men, women, right? Left or right, the left brain and the right brain. You see how everything has this kind of dual nature, how things work. Every single word has an antonym, right? A synonym. So what I want to let you guys know and provide you through my experience, my journey, my perspective is the fact that we are born into this duality consciousness, into this dual nature of life, right? We're born into this world and that's all we know. That's all we encounter when we're being taught socially, conditionally, the programming and the experiences we have throughout life that creates us in such a way that allows us to see separation within one another. That everything is over there and I'm over here, you know, you and me, you know. So what I want to allow you to see and realize for yourself is that maybe this actually is only a stage, only a level, and that you can go beyond duality consciousness through, right, awareness, consciousness, expanding that, right? And I want to quote Da Vinci and let you guys know what he said. He said that realize how everything connects with everything else. So what do you mean by that? So through that awareness, through becoming aware, investigating, you are finding that connection between yourself, the inner world, the outside world, right? Diving into science, seeing at the core of everything, how everything interconnects energetically. Things like that. Expanding your consciousness, becoming a better version of yourself. By doing this, you start to see past duality. Because like I said, how I've experienced duality is that it is a level, a stage of consciousness, and that you can go far beyond that and realize your true nature. I also want to say that the way I see duality is just like there's heads or tails on that coin, you are that coin. You are that coin that's aware of its dual nature. So just like you have the left brain and the right brain, and you have feminine attributes and traits and energetic patterns of behavior, and you have those masculine patterns of behavior throughout life, throughout the world, but you have the capacity, right? You have that potential to access both sides of the coin. So a lot of times these attributes are categorized. For example, females, they say they're more emotional, logical, intuitive, creative, nurturing, receiving. And then men, on the other hand, are intense, impulsive, seeking power, authority, giving, rough, right? Women being gentle, men being logical, women being emotional. So again, you see how this is categorized mainstream throughout the world? That's to show you the duality, the distinction and separation that is quite evident, right? And that we encounter on a daily basis. That women can't be great leaders, but men can because they're more capacity, whatever. You know, that kind of illusion of seeing the world in that duality consciousness, right? You were born into this world, you were taught to be this way, and therefore you see the world and experience it in such a way. Don't mind him. So, therefore, I want to let you know that even though this exists, right, you have the opportunity to balance the scales. You can tap into both sides, both hemispheres of the brain, right? If you want to get, you know, biological. But spiritually, it's the same thing. Consciously, it's the same thing. You're becoming that you have this dual nature within yourself. And that if, I want you guys to ask yourself the question, if you're a woman or a man, a boy or a girl, how can I balance the scales so that I can unify that duality, right? That's where I'm now going into transcendence, right? How can you transcend duality? It's just by unifying. But again, by connecting the dots, doing the work, the personal development. And you start to unify the fact that if you're a man and you're very impulsive, you're very logical, try to express more your emotions. Balance out that emotions, express how you feel. In every given moment you have the chance, right? Express how you feel. Be more creative, visualize, do some yoga, watch a romantic comedy. If you're a woman, take a fighting class. If you need to be more action-oriented, do so. Things like that. So just balance out the scales. Investigate how you are behaving. And maybe some balance that you need. Are you receiving too much, not being appreciative? Are you giving too much without getting anything in return? Are you letting people take advantage of you? Then maybe you need some masculine energies, more authority. Put your foot down. And it takes work because you need to start this new pattern of who you are, reaching your highest potential. But like I said, that unification is represented by a symbol that's very popular. You guys know it, I'm pretty sure. And I think it's by the Taoism tradition, and it's the yin and the yang, right? That white and black symbol that they both come in together, unified, and that's the representation of that symbol. It's the fact that there is that female, that yin and that yang, right? Masculine, feminine. It's just depicting creation, reality itself. The fact that when you finally bring those two together harmoniously and lovingly so, you are now in alignment with that higher truth, your highest potential of yourself. You behave better, you love better, you see the world from this truth because you're realizing that this is how it's supposed to coexist. Remember, you're that one coin, and you're finally realizing that you are that coin, when before you thought you were just heads, or before you thought you were just tails. So, this is when you start to realize that, in fact, duality can be transcended, and you start to experience this. Through my experience of doing the personal development, the meditation, trying out yoga, watching romantic comedies, stuff like that, and just expressing myself more, working on balancing my becoming more feminine as opposed to just trying to be this stern man all the time, but finally expressing myself a little more, getting in tune with my emotions, and that allows me to become more balanced, to experience life more fully, more unified. Remember, you're coming into your power, your true nature. And you have a chance to do this every single moment. Are you going to cling on to that old pattern behavior, or are you going to try to balance the scales? Remember, don't forget, society, your culture has taught you otherwise. So that's something you have to be aware of as well. The whole world we're born into teaches us to see this duality all the time, but I'm letting you know, right, that you don't have to. There's a higher potential waiting for you as you become aware of this, and you can balance the scales, becoming your greatest version, realizing who you are in this world. What is reality? What actually is it? And then you start to see that everyone has their own unique roles in life, but it's all part of the creative dance that we're here to experience. This journey of creating all together and realizing that we're actually just connected. We're all one. All is one. The law of one, right? That type of thing. So, unified consciousness, that's the new stage you start to enter. So if you finally go beyond that dual nature, seeing everything opposite from yourself, and you see how everything is you. So like I said before I got a little lost in the ramble, I was experiencing myself from becoming this person separate from everybody else to realizing how we're all connected, that the trees, right, that I could feel nature now, I could feel the air more, the presence of everything. Now that might sound a little hippie to some people, right? But it's just because you're expanding your abilities. You're becoming more in alignment with that highest truth. Your higher self, that higher intelligence that's available to you, that guidance, now starts to speak to you. Reality, the universe giving you signs. The fact that your inner world, right, determines what's reflected back to you in the outer world. Like I said, all is one, past duality, unified consciousness. So, hopefully this video was able to provide you with some awareness when it comes to one of these aspects of creation, right? And you can start to ask yourself those questions. What do I need balance with? How can I start investigating? Am I already getting signs of feeling that everything really isn't so separate, that we're all actually just together, one whole species, right? How can I start to climb the scale and stop identifying separately from everybody else, but that I can actually coexist harmoniously with every single person, every single attribute? Because a lot of times that duality within ourselves, we see someone else, let's say they're fat and we're skinny, we're like, oh man, look at that fat person, why don't they lose some weight? As an example. But you see how that separation, it's just a dual nature. You're not seeing that person as unified with you, connected as another human being, but you're seeing their flaw instead of acknowledging that, okay, yeah, that's just them, you know, it's just part of who I am as well. You know, I could be fat, but I'm not, but they are. It's like, you know, just a different perspective, a different way of viewing things. So realize, as you start to transcend from duality consciousness into unified consciousness, you now start to go into another spiritual conscious label, right? That it's a teaching that's called non-duality. So if you want, you can do some research on that. I might do some videos in the future. And like I said, it's just that next stage of you realizing who you are. More multidimensional, more infinite, more in alignment with reality, God, any label you'd like to call it. So remember, you're an infinite spiritual being, conscious being, multidimensional, powerful beyond measure. But you're right now just going through this limited portion of experience, of a journey of being human, as you can climb your way into higher states of consciousness. And that's just life, you know? A lot of people are on this journey and at their own pace. They're evolving. So take your time, follow your instincts, follow your intuition. Trust that you will arrive to your preferred destination. And hopefully this video inspires you to keep doing so along whatever path you're taking. So, I hope this video allowed you to see a new perspective from my journey, from my perspective, and that you got the message, right? And that it's available to you, that next stage of greatness, of realizing the world, who you really are in this world, and how you belong and interconnect with the universe and reality. So, have a great day. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys struggling with when it comes to this dual nature, right? What do you need to balance within yourselves? What are you guys having a little bit of a hard time? So let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Like, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next video. Much love.